The HAWKER Sea Hurricane was the fastest monoplane fighter in the Fleet Air Arm when it entered service in 1941 and made an invaluable contribution to the service. The type entered 19 frontline and 22 second-line squadrons, both on fleet carriers and the smaller escort carriers. The Hurricane single-seat fighter had been the backbone of fighter command of the Royal Air Force during the Battle of Britain. Less glamorous to many than the Supermarine Spitfire, the Hurricane inflicted 60% of the losses suffered by the Luftwaffe in the campaign in the hands of pilots such as Bob Stanford Tuck and Douglas Bader, and went on to fight in every major theatre of combat during the Second World War. The Hurricane was the brainchild of the legendary Sir Sidney Cam, imagined as a replacement for the biplane Hawker Fury in service in the 1930s. The Hurricane was a generation ahead of its contemporaries, having luxuries such as retractable undercarriage, an 8-gun armament, and the new 1,000 horsepower Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. The prototype Hurricane flew for the first time on 6 November 1935 and was ordered in numbers by the Air Ministry. Squadrons received the aircraft from December 1937, and by the outbreak of war in 1939, the RAF had 18 squadrons in service. Although slower than the Spitfire, the Hurricane was an excellent gun platform, and its more traditional construction, including a wood and fabric rear fuselage, meant it could take far more battle damage and was easier to repair than its thoroughbred colleague. The Hurricane joined the Fleet Air Arm as the Sea Hurricane. The first aircraft, the Mark 1A, were carried by merchant ships converted with a rocket-assisted catapult. The Sea Hurricane would be fired off at the sign of an enemy aircraft approaching the convoy. After engaging the enemy, the pilot would fly on patrol until his fuel ran out, necessitating a bailout and rescue from the water, or, if close enough to land, to fly to a friendly airfield. The Sea Hurricane 1B was properly equipped for aircraft carrier use, having catapult spools and an arrestor hook. Aircraft were further navalised to have radios in use by the Fleet Air Arm and to have airspeed indicators reading in knots rather than miles per hour. These entered service in mid-1941. Sea Hurricane versions broadly reflected the improvements made with the land-based aircraft. The Mark 1C was fitted with 4 20mm cannon in place of the 8 or 12 .303-inch Browning machine guns, giving it proper stopping power against enemy aircraft. The Sea Hurricane was never given a folding wing. On larger carriers this wasn't a problem, but on small escort carriers the aircraft would be permanently ranged on deck. The lot of an aircraft mechanic working on an aircraft on an open deck on a blustery wind during Arctic convoy escort duties was not a happy one. In the hands of a good pilot, the Sea Hurricane was an excellent fleet defence fighter. One such pilot was Richard Dickie Cork, DSO-DSC, the only Fleet Air Arm pilot to shoot down 5 aircraft in a single day. Crews excelled themselves in theatres such as the Arctic convoy runs and the Malta convoys, culminating in Operation Pedestal. The last Sea Hurricane to be delivered flew in August 1943, and the type continued in service well into 1944, until replaced by other types such as the Seafire, the Wildcat and the Hellcat. Today, 4 Sea Hurricanes are still in airworthy condition, 1 in Germany, 1 in the USA and 2 in the UK. The only 1/32nd scale kit of the Sea Hurricane is one made by Fly Models from 2016, based on their Hurricane 2C kit released in the same year. In 1/48th scale, there's an Airfix kit from 2017. This is one of the new versions of the 2015 tooling. In fact, if you can't find the Sea Hurricane, you can buy either of the other 2 kits now available, as they contain all the parts for all the versions. You just need to get some aftermarket markings. Hasegawa released Sea Hurricanes in 1998 and 2000, and I think the latter appeared as an ARC Models kit in 2010. By far the best looking kit is the Italeri 1/48th set, which includes a fully modelled engine. Going now to 1/72nd scale, an Airfix made this new tool in 2010 that could be completed as land or sea versions, and it was re-released in 2014 as part of a club kit. Hasegawa released this very fine combo of Sea Hurricanes in 2013, built around their 1995 tooling. Naval released a Sea Hurricane in 1999, based on their new tool from the previous year, but most exciting perhaps is the new 2022 release of the Sea Hurricane from Armour Hobby. This is the same kit as their excellent 2018 Hurricane, but with extra 3D printed parts.